What is going on, you guys? It is your host, Galadon. Thank you so much for stopping by Galadon Gaming. Yes, it is a Clash Royale world record. It's the mass Lava Hound record, and I know there's no Guinness book for this, but we're going to go with, from what I could tell, this was the most Lava Hounds in any battle at any point. Now, this isn't it. No, this was a Clash on Gone and myself with our feeble failure of an attempt at mass Lava Hounds. Just, we didn't have the strategy down right. And so later on in the episode, you will see the true record, and it looks insane. I don't know how these guys did it, but it was a couple of guys from Full Attack, and we will get on to their actual friendly battle that did it in a few minutes. But in the meantime, let's move on to some regular Lava Hound action. And this comes to us from FK Lil Raw of Full Attack, and this was pre-balancing update, so even before the buff to the Lava Hound and the Lava Pups, Lil Raw doing some work here as a level 9 facing a level 10 and bringing the Lava Hounds to the battle. So early on, you can see it's a matter of trying to control that offensive move. The Barbarian Hog getting countered very solidly. They don't even so much as touch the tower. Good placement of the cannon there. Good timing of the Fireball blasting everybody off. And his own Ice Wizard moving on, not obviously going to do much damage at all. But again, this is just a setup for once he gets that Lava Hound in action. You can see also his opponent has the Royal Giant 3 Musketeer action. A bold move indeed. A very risky offensive move to bring both of those cards in the same deck. Here comes the Royal Giant from the back. Obviously, this is always a tip-off. When you see them dropping it from the back, you know the intention is to stack other units with it. Little did Lil Raw know it was going to be the 3 Musketeers. So here comes the Giant. There are the 3 Musketeers, but the perfect counter, the Zap first, and then the Fireball. I love that. Usually you'll see the Fireball first, then the Zap. The Zap Fireball goes off. The cannon a little bit late, doesn't get down before the Giant locks onto the tower, but nonetheless, that could have been bye-bye tower if you don't get those Musketeers down completely. If they sit down there fireballed, they're going to do just as much damage as if they were at completely full health. So that was a very solid strategic move to zap and then fireball those Musketeers right off the face of the planet. So we're back into reset. You can see both players have an Elixir Collector working, and here comes Lil Raw getting ready. Nope, he's got to change his strategy. Good fireball. That was the wise choice. He would have been in deep trouble had he dropped the Lava Hound right there. He definitely would have lost that tower to the Barbarian Hog push. So he's again waiting for that moment, and that is really the key. When you're using any sort of expensive elixir card, these 6, 7, 8, 9 elixir cards, you've got to wait for that right moment. And this time, good drop of the cannon, gets in there. Once again, the 3 Musketeers are going to get to work. But once again, the Fireball and the Zap spell neutralize them just about instantaneously. Remember that, right there, always a key. Fireball Zap will take down the Musketeers very, very quickly. So Lil Raw has to keep this in mind, and that is definitely something you want to do. Realize that you've got to have your Fireball and your Zap ready in case he comes back at you once again with the 3 Musketeers. And right here comes the first Lava Hound right as his opponent drops an Elixir Collector. So that works out really well. You know that you're not about to get assaulted by the Royal Giant 3 Musketeer combo once again. The Royal Giant is on its way, but so is that Lava Hound. And he's got the Ice Wizard down the left-hand side, so he's working on defense, offense at the same time. Fireball Zap once again, and that Lava Hound is on top of the tower. All sorts of goblins trying to close in, getting stalled by the Barbarians, but the Lava Hound is there. And much like a Golem, it won't get a lot of direct damage done, but the Lava Pups might. There they go to work. Fireball counters, but here comes another Lava Hound. 2 Royal Giants on the left, though. You've got to deal with those. You're going to see a lot of damage to that left tower if you can't slow him down. You also have a Hog Rider over there, so offensive on both sides. Both players pushing hard. We are just about out of overtime, but the Lava Hound doing a great job on the right-hand tower, and another Lava Hound flies right over the heads of the Barbarians. That is going to be the end of that tower as the 2 Lava Hounds converge on the tower. The Giants moving on the left-hand side, but it's not going to be in time. The Fireball isn't even needed. The Lava Hounds and Barbarians get the job done, and FK Lil Raw showing how it's done with Lava Hound strategy. So let's go ahead and move on to the world record most Lava Hounds on the playing field at once, coming to us from none other than Webster and FK Lil Raw from Full Attack. And these guys had this down. They practiced this for probably 3 days. I saw friendly after friendly after friendly as they built this up. They would destroy the towers, get those elixir collectors going, and you'll see exactly how they did it in just a few seconds. But I also want to take this opportunity to challenge you guys, the viewers. If you are interested in trying to beat this record, or maybe do one with a different troop, with a mass number of another troop, and you get a hold of me, I will come check it out. If it is indeed more than anybody else has done, and it's not being used elsewhere on YouTube, I will be happy to come over, record it, and if I feature it in an episode, I will of course not only give you and your clan a shout out, but I will drop you a Google Play or iTunes gift card as a thank you as well. So let me know. Again, my email is in the description of every video. You can also find me on Twitter at GaladonCOC. And if you can beat one of these, let me know and maybe you will get in a future video. But for now, we've got Little Raw and Webster are using the cannons, bomb towers, and mortars as magnets to keep these lava hounds together, compact, and obviously, again, not doing a great deal of damage individually. It does take them a while to get through a single defensive structure, but less and less time each time as the number of lava hounds starts to increase. You can see Webster working on those elixir collectors and defensive structures, and then a freeze spell every so often just to grab every single lava hound. And Little Raw over there is really only going through the lava hounds, the elixir collectors, and the mirror cards, just dropping that last card on there, trying to get as many hounds down as possible. And it's going to be a matter of whether they run out of time in overtime or one of the King's towers goes down. Really, as these lava hounds converge, the problem is usually the lava hounds eventually are just going to melt through these defenses way too quickly, and you will not be able to stop them, to stall them from getting over there. So the freeze spells, again, working out really well. And these guys had a great deal of practice at this. So again, if you guys think you can beat this or another mass record, please let me know. I'm happy to reward you guys with a big shout out, a planned visit, and of course a gift card or two. Well, 2, because I've got to give one to each of the guys that participated in the battle, right? All right, so 2 it is. Here we go. So Little Raw dropping the lava hounds, Webster dropping all sorts of defensive structures, and the free spell when he can. We are down to the last minute and 45 seconds of overtime, and as you can see now, the free spell is no longer grabbing every single lava hound, and it's just a matter of time before they start to peel off. Like right there at the bottom, it's starting, nope, it comes back, came back to the bomb tower. But it's just going to be too many lava hounds to control, and you know what's going to happen here. Eventually, they're going to find their way over the river and close in on Webster's last remaining tower. But it was wise to clear the other towers out of the way early, just to give them more space and to not have to worry about a lower hit point structure going down and ending this battle. So it continues. We are almost into the last minute of overtime. But again, you can see the lava hounds are just going to annihilate these structures now. There is no stopping them except for free spells, and even then, the free spell, oh, here they come, they're crossing, oh, they're coming back. He stops them from crossing the river by dropping another defensive structure. Nope, forward, back, any second now, they will cross the point. Nope, oh, nope, the point of no return. There goes one, missed by the free spell. He's gone over the river, and that leaves Little Raw no choice but to try to drop more lava hounds as fast as he can. Webster is now defending on his own side of the river, and he's not able to keep up any longer. But it's the last 30 seconds, and here they come, being delayed just a little bit at a time. As time runs out, the King's Tower is about to get destroyed as well. So the timing on this worked out pretty well. These guys took it down to the very last seconds. And there it goes, the final free spell. The last lava hounds are being dropped on the screen. Will he get one more? He gets one more down. The last mirrored lava hound isn't going to get there. And that is it. They went back and counted. And the magic number 23 lava hounds on the screen deployed by one player. I call it a Clash World record. We will see how long it holds and if you guys can beat it. So once again, calling all of you guys who are willing to try this friendly challenge. Doesn't cost anything but maybe time. And speaking of time, thank you guys so much for your time, for sticking around all the way to the end of this episode. Let me know what you guys can pull off. I'd love to feature it in a future episode. Now get out there and make every attack a full attack.
Scally Dome. I'm not impressed. I'm sure my clan can do much better.